Okay, so hello and welcome to yet another Gaming Masters video. So today I'm going to be talking about Insomnia57. So Insomnia57 is a LAN gaming event in the UK where I went for the weekend with two members of my team, and we went, had a look around and had a bit of fun. And I went up on the Saturday, came back on the Sunday, so yesterday evening, and I just wanted to talk about my experience. So, Insomnia57 started off as being a fairly small LAN gaming event, and now they're run by Multiplay, who is owned by Game, the big retailer in the UK for computer games. And the whole atmosphere around the LAN gaming event, Insomnia57, was a lot of hype. Like, loads of people were really looking forward to it. This is the second event they've done at the NEC. They've been going since 1997, I believe. So they've been around for quite a few years. They do about 3 shows a year. Generally one in April, one in August, and one in November, December kind of time. So they have done quite a lot of shows. They've done 57 shows. So it's a fairly popular and well-known event. You have loads of big YouTubers that go, you have meetups, you have big companies that go and show off their latest stuff. There were 4 halls, one of which was dedicated to camping. One was 3/4 or so closed off specifically for the people that had brought their own computer to play in the LAN gaming event, which is the main thing that the event is there for. That's where it originated from. People came, brought their computers, played games competitively over a local area network. So it was all kind of like, you're playing with the people that are with you kind of thing. So that's how most competitive events run. And then another quarter of that hall was the esports stage, where the professional teams were playing. Like, they were doing Halo, they're doing Rocket League, Heroes of the Storm, League of Legends, etc. So there was quite a lot of variety in the games that they had in the tournament area. Then there was another hall which featured, I'd say probably about 3/4 of that hall was a stage and like an area for audience, and there's a little bit of a bar at the back with food and drinks and stuff like that. So this is where they had the opening ceremonies each day, where they had the big shows and stuff like that, and also where they had the pub quiz, which is every Saturday. Loads of people know about the pub quiz that they run at the Insomnia events. It's every Saturday generally at the show. So that was where the pub quiz took place, and quite a few other events. They had Q&A panels, they had giveaways and stuff like that. So that was that hall with a huge stage and audience area, probably seated about, for the main show bit, it probably seated about 2,000 people, like, at watching the stage kind of thing. And then the pub quiz, I think it was limited to 500, because they had all the tables that were brought out, etc. So yeah, it was probably about 500, I think, during the pub quiz, and that sold out. The tickets for the overall event, like the Friday, I believe, didn't sell out until the Wednesday, and then the Sunday was about the same as well. The Saturday sold out quite a few weeks ago now. And then there was the final hall. Now, when I think of the gaming event, the last gaming event I went to was Eurogamer in September. And Eurogamer was 4 or 5 halls of the NEC, same venue, full of games and merchandise for YouTubers and computer companies and stuff like that. So yeah, it was primarily focused on actually playing the video games. And this was my first Insomnia event, and this is my honest opinion of it. I enjoyed the hype it was like I was looking forward to it quite a lot. I was thinking I was gonna have a time in my life as such, but the haul that I was expecting to be like most of the hauls was probably half of it was, I'd say about half of it was, probably a bit less than half was closed off. So there were like curtains around it so people can go there. That's where they were keeping all of the storage stuff. And then you had the bit that was actually open. It was probably quarter food, so buying your burgers, your fish and chips and stuff like that. Probably quarter stage. There was another stage that they had there, which had some other Q&A stuff and where YouTubers went up and panels, and cosplay was also there. And then of the actual stands that was there, I was extremely disappointed, mainly because it was 85% merchandise. Like, it says literally on the press pass that I've got right next to me right now, it says the biggest gaming festival, UK's biggest gaming festival, Insomnia57. 85% of the stuff that was in that hall that you could access was merchandise for YouTubers or memorabilia about the event, or computers that you could buy. Well, you can buy it. I think you could have a look at computers that you could buy, but that wasn't like, obviously it originated as a LAN gaming event, so there was obviously going to be a there were obviously going to be PC games that you could PC builds that you could have a look at and buy and get components towards your computer. However, there was more merchandise for things like Marvel superheroes and the Magic the Gathering cards and posters and t-shirts and stuff like that than there were actual games on PC that you could play. There was a small indie area, so it was nice that they supported the indie developers. However, there were only about 8 indie developers there, and the rest was merchandise and stuff. Or there was the retro gaming area, which had simply about 2 or 3, no, there were probably about 5 rows of 4 table long areas. So it's a bit hard to describe, but they had the old-fashioned TVs with retro consoles. They had the original Xbox and stuff like that, and they had it set up with these games that you couldn't play anywhere else unless you had that platform from 15, 16 years ago. So that was interesting, having a look around there. And then with the actual new games, only EA and the Xbox and PlayStation were there, and the only pre-release game that was there that I actually saw was Quantum Break. Now, that's an Xbox stand. There were about probably 10 PC versions, 10 Xbox One versions, and then the PS4 area was Minecraft and FIFA. They also had FIFA on Xbox, I believe, along with The Division. They had a few Xbox One consoles there with The Division. Otherwise, that was pretty much it. Like, I was disappointed with, they obviously are popular because it seems to have gone from it originating as a LAN gaming event where people came together to play games to an event where people have gone to go and see their YouTubers that they really want to meet. So there was Syndicate, there was Dante DN, there was Terrorizer, there was... Dan Ball was supposed to be there, but he didn't end up going. It was his birthday, so it's kind of understandable. But there were loads and loads of different big YouTubers and Yogscast and stuff like that. And they all came together. they were selling their merchandise. If they ran merchandise, there's the Syndicate, and Yogscast did that. And there were also the meetups and the panels and stuff like that from Twitch streamers. And then 85%, the rest of that haul was merchandise. And I just was disappointed, because if you think of a gaming festival, I would expect something to be where there's a lot of games that you can play and a lot of variety. I mean, I came from Eurogamer, as I previously mentioned, so I wasn't expecting something as big and as grand as Eurogamer, because Eurogamer is nearer to the time of year where there will be the new games that haven't been released yet to play. However, you have a lot of young people, like 8, 9 years old, going to Insomnia to meet the YouTubers, not the demographic necessarily that they're originally aiming for, which is people between the age of 15 and 30 that want to go and play games that may be playing competitively. I mean, if it's a gaming festival, I expect more games for people to play. If it's a LAN gaming event, which it originally was, I would expect a bit more of a focus on that. Like, pretty much all of the marketing for it was Syndicate. Like, every poster that you saw walking up to the event, it had a picture of Syndicate on it. And the world's biggest YouTubers and cosplay and stuff like that. There wasn't much focus on the competitive side of it, I don't think. And with 3/4 of the LAN gaming event closed off, unless you brought your own computer and you couldn't, like, see any of the games being played or anything like that. Like, the esports stage area, when there wasn't a official competition running with the big teams, they could have possibly shown some of the games that were being played just generally in that stage, but they didn't. It was just a screen saying, coming in 2 hours, we have League of Legends Grand Final, for example. So, yeah, I mean, I think that they have gone for the kind of like commercialized YouTube meetup event rather than a true gaming festival, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, like, the big YouTubers probably love it because they get to meet their fans, it's where they can go and meet and stuff like that. Not many events run things like that, especially Eurogamer. Eurogamer isn't really that kind of thing. But I suppose I was just disappointed because I was expecting more. However, I probably will still be going to Insomnia 58 and possibly 59, mainly because I want to go to the pub quiz, which they run, and I didn't manage to get tickets this show. And then Insomnia 59, I kind of want to help out because like, there's the opportunity to help out and do the behind the scenes stuff, and that's the kind of thing that I would like to do, unless I was a big YouTuber that was doing meetups and stuff. But like, I understand that it's originally was a LAN gaming event, but it's not a gaming festival in my opinion. Anyway, a little bit of a rant over and a little bit of a summary of Insomnia 57 from my perspective. My team that went with me actually pretty much agreed with me. They were slightly disappointed. They were expecting something bigger and better. So they were thinking the same kind of thing. Like, they didn't go for 2 days. I went for 2 days because I booked a hotel, and they went back on the same. They went back home on the Saturday, and they could go back on a Sunday. They just didn't, because they didn't, like, there wasn't enough to do. I didn't really play many games or buy anything because I literally just circled around the hall having a look at the odd thing here and there, and I met a few cool people. I met Syndicate, I met LT Zonda, I met Dina Bean, and I met Stodder, the Battlefield YouTuber. So I met quite a few interesting people, and I talked to the Asus guys and stuff like that. So that was good. That I liked, but I think that like the next event needs a few little changes. Like it needs to possibly have more games to actually play, possibly have to focus more on the games if they want to go for a gaming festival. If they want to go for a LAN gaming event, which they originally were, I would focus more on the esports, not the meeting of the YouTubers. But that's just a personal opinion. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I am at Gadget Show Live on Thursday as well, so if you do want to meet up at some point or have a summary of Gadget Show, I'll be doing that as well. Don't forget to like, follow, and of course, as always, subscribe. It's very much appreciated, and I shall see you in the next video.